Welcome back in the chemistry class of Dr. SR. Last time I was telling you about the chemical reactions of the alkyl halide and some of the reactions like nucleophilic substitution reactions. I have told you, and last nucleophilic reaction which I have given you was the reaction of the alkyl halide with potassium cyanide to form alkyl cyanide and the reaction of alkyl halide with AgCN to form alkyl isocyanide. Similarly, I have told you that when alkyl halides react with KNO2 or any alkali metal nitride, there is formation of alkyl nitrite. And when there is reaction of alkyl halide with AgNO2, there is formation of nitroalkane. These reactions, the last I have told you in my previous lecture, this is your alkyl cyanide. This is your alkyl isocyanide. This is your alkyl nitrite. And this is your nitroalkane. Now in this reaction, there is a formation of alkyl cyanide. Some amount of alkyl isocyanide is formed. And similarly, in this reaction, where there is formation of alkyl isocyanide, some amount of alkyl cyanide or alkane nitrile is also obtained. Now I have to explain that why does alkyl halide on reaction with alkali metal cyanide gives alkyl cyanide or alkane nitrile, but on reaction with silver cyanide, it forms alkyl isocyanide as the main product. Similarly, on reaction with potassium nitride, it gives alkyl nitride, while on reaction with silver nitride, it gives nitroalkane. So first of all, I will take the case of alkyl cyanide and alkyl isocyanide. Now this reaction of alkyl halide with potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide takes place in the solvent, water, and ethyl alcohol. This alkyl cyanide, sodium potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide or any alkali metal cyanide is an ionic compound which in solution gets ionized to give metal ion and cyanide ion. This cyanide ion has a resonating structure which can be represented like this. Now in this resonating structure, it's very clear that the negative charge and the lone pair of electron are present on the carbon and nitrogen atom both. That is, there are two nucleophilic centers. One is carbon. This is one nucleophilic center. And another nucleophilic center, due to the presence of lone pair of electron, is nitrogen atom. And on account of presence of two nucleophilic centers, this cyanide ion has a chance to attack on the alkyl halide or react with alkyl halide, forming carbon-carbon bond or carbon-nitrogen bond. But since carbon-carbon bond is more stable in comparison to that of the carbon-nitrogen bond, that's why the alkyl cyanide is the main product. Now such nucleophiles which have two nucleophilic centers, these are known as ambidentate nucleophiles. These have got two nucleophilic centers. Two nucleophilic centers. As for example, in case of this cyanide, it has carbon and nitrogen. So cyanide ion is an example of ambidentate nucleophile. Now, if you consider silver cyanide, this is covalent. While KCN or NaCN, these are ionic in nature. So on account of covalent nature of silver cyanide, it does not ionize in the solution and it has only nitrogen as the nucleophilic center. Nitrogen as the nucleophilic center. And that's why when silver cyanide reacts with alkyl halide, there is formation of alkyl isocyanide or alkyl isonitrile, which is also called as carbylamine. Similarly, this KNO2 or NaNO2, this is ionic in nature. And in solution, it gets ionized into Na plus NaNO2 minus. This NO2 minus as this structure. And it has also got two nucleophilic centers. One is O minus and the other is this oxygen atom. So this is also an ambidentate nucleophile. Ambidentate nucleophile. And it has chances of the attack on either side, from this side as well as on this side, and show resonance. So the resonating structure of this will be like this. And thus, when it reacts with alkyl halide, there is formation of carbon-oxygen bond, which is more stronger in comparison to that of the carbon-nitrogen bond. And on account of this, it forms alkyl nitride. But this AgNO2, it is a covalent compound. And it has nitrogen atom as its nucleophilic center. So when alkyl halides react with silver nitride, there is formation of carbon-nitrogen bond, resulting in the formation of alkyl isocyanide. Now let us take some more examples of nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halide. Some more examples. Of nucleophilic substitution reactions. Of alkyl halide. As for example, formation of ester. This alkyl halide, when react with silver salt of monocarboxylic acid, there is formation of R-COR plus AgX, that is ester is formed. As for example, if it is your CH3, CH2, Br plus CH3COOH3, this is your silver acetate. This will result in the formation of CH3COO, CH2, CH3 plus AgBr. This is your ethyl acetate. Similarly, when alkyl halides react with alkali metal hydrosulfides, there is formation of thioalcohol, which is also called as mercaptan. So, formation of thioalcohol. As for example, CH3, CH2Br plus KSH, water and alcohol solvent. There is formation of CH3, CH2 SH plus KBr. This is your thioalcohol. Or ethyl mercaptan. But when these alkyl halides react with alkali metal sulfides, here you have taken alkali metal hydrosulfide. This case is your potassium hydrosulfide. In case of this, you may also take sodium hydrosulfide like NaSH. But when it reacts with sodium sulfide or potassium sulfide, there is formation of ether. As for example, this is your CH3, CH2Br plus NaS, Na plus water solvent. There is formation of CH3, CH2, S, CH2, CH3. You will take one more molecule of ethyl bromide here. So one sodium bromide is eliminated from here, other from here. So this is diethyl thioether plus sodium sulfide plus sodium bromide. So these are some of the nucleophilic substitution reactions of the alkyl halide. Now the alkyl cyanide, which we have prepared in the previous reaction, that is also very important compound for preparing carboxylic acids, amines, etc. So let us see those reactions also. Preparation of carboxylic acids, preparation of carboxylic acid, containing high number of carbon atom. Whenever you have to increase the number of carbon atom in the chain, you will have to introduce cyanide group in the chain, and that cyanide group can be introduced directly in the alkyl halide by its reaction with alkali metal cyanide. So whatever the compound you have to prepare containing high number of carbon atom, and if we start from the previous compound like alkane and alkyl halide, so first you come on alkyl halide and then increase the number of carbon atom by introducing cyanide group. So suppose you are take starting from alkanes, this is your methane, and you have to prepare carboxylic acid containing one more carbon atom. It means you have to introduce cyanide group, and for introducing cyanide group, you will have to take alkyl halide. So methane will be first converted into alkyl halide CH3Cl or CH3Br. If you prepare CH3Cl, you will take chlorine in presence of sunlight, and then it will be reacted with potassium cyanide to give CH3Cn, and this cyanide group on hydrolysis in presence of acid like dilute HCl or dilute HCl4 change into CH3COOH, that is acetic acid. That is Cn on hydrolysis gives you COH. Similarly, suppose you have to convert methanol into acetic acid or ethanoic acid. You take methanol, but you can't increase the number of carbon atom directly here. So you will have to prepare alkyl halide, and for the preparation of alkyl halide from alcohol, I have already told you that it should react with SOCl2, the most suitable reagent known as amyl chloride. In place of this, you may also take the hydrochloric acid or PCl5 or PCl3. So this methyl alcohol has been converted into methyl chloride, then methyl cyanide, and then into carboxylic acid by its hydrolysis. Similarly, we can also prepare amines, primary amines. Containing higher number of carbon atom. Whenever you have to increase the number of carbon atom, then first you prepare alkyl halide, or if you have been given directly alkyl halide, then it should be reacted with KCN to increase the number of carbon atom, CH3Cn, and this CN group on reduction with hydrogen and nickel changes into CH2NH2 group, that is you get ethanamine. This CN group can be changed into CH2NH2 by reduction with hydrogen and nickel, and it can also be changed into CH2NH2 group by using reducing agent sodium and ethyl alcohol. In this case, this reaction is known as Mendius reaction. So these were the reactions showing nucleophilic substitution by alkyl halide. Now another type of reaction which is shown by alkyl halide molecules is your elimination reaction. Elimination, as the name indicates, there will be elimination of some species from the substrate or from the alkyl halide molecule, and this type of reaction generally results in the formation of compounds containing multiple bonds. That is, if you take initially the compound containing carbon-carbon single bond, then you will be expecting on the basis of elimination reaction, there is formation of carbon-carbon double bond. And if the starting compound contains carbon-carbon double bond, then during elimination reaction, the end product will contain carbon-carbon triple bond. Now, in case of alkyl halide, reaction is called as dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation. D means removal, that is removal of hydrogen and halogen. Both take place. And the reagent generally used is alcoholic QH or alcoholic NaOH. Now, this elimination reaction also takes place through nucleophile, and the nucleophilic substitution reaction also takes place through nucleophile. But the difference in between the electrophilic and elimination and the nucleophilic substitution reaction by taking the nucleophile is what that I will tell you right now after writing some of the reactions. First, you see that this elimination reaction like SN1 and SN2. These are also of two types. First is E1 and the other is E2. E1 is called as elimination unimolecular or elimination first order because the rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of substrate molecule only, that is concentration of alkyl halide. And E2, it is on account of the fact that the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of substrate as well as concentration of nucleophile. The mechanism of these two reactions is also very much close to that of the SN1 and SN2 reaction. And as in case of SN1 reaction, the SN1 reaction which is shown generally by compounds containing secondary or tertiary alkyl group, while the SN2 reaction is shown by the compounds containing primary alkyl group. Likewise here, shown by E1 is shown by alkyl halides containing secondary or tertiary alkyl group. While this E2 is shown by compounds containing primary alkyl group. Now let us see the mechanism of E1 reaction. As in case of SN1 reaction, the first step is the formation of the carbon ion, and that is the rate determining step, that is the slow step of the reaction. Likewise, in E1 reaction also, the first step is the formation of carbon ion, and therefore those molecules which will form more stable carbon ion, that is secondary or tertiary alkyl halide, will easily undergo E1 reaction. So, suppose your alkyl halide molecule is CH3C, CH3, Cl. This will get ionized and it will form plus Cl minus. This is the slow step of reaction, and therefore rate of reaction will be directly proportional to concentration of alkyl halide molecule. That is only one molecule of the reactant is present in the rate equation. That's why the reaction is first order. In the second step, the nucleophile removes the proton and where from the removal of proton takes place. The removal of proton takes place from beta carbon atom, while the loss of the group or the atom or the halogen atom takes place from the alpha carbon atom. Alpha carbon atom is that carbon atom here where with which halogen atom is directly attached. So this will be the alpha carbon atom. In general, alpha carbon atom is that carbon atom with which the functional group is directly attached or with which the double bonded or multiple bonded carbon atom is attached. So here the alpha carbon atom is this one, and the next adjacent carbon atom is beta carbon atom. So there are three beta carbon atoms here, but all are equivalent. So the loss of proton can take place from either of the beta carbon atom. So if you consider this beta carbon atom, then this bond will shift here, and this nucleophile will remove hydrogen in the form of proton. This will result in the formation of CH3, CH3, double bond CH2 plus H2O. Here it will be Cl. This is your isobutene. In case of E2 reaction, which takes place only in case of primary alkyl halide, the loss of proton and the loss of the halogen atom in the form of halide ion takes place simultaneously, and in interdeterminism, the nucleophile as well as the alkyl halide both molecules are involved. That's why this reaction will be the rate determining step, and rate of reaction will be directly proportional to concentration of alkyl halide as well as nucleophile, as shown here. Suppose the compound is your CH3, CH, Cl, OH minus. This CH3 can be written like this. So first there will be formation of transition state like SN2 reaction, in which the bond formation and bond breaking process take place simultaneously. This carbon hydrogen bond is breaking, and this OH minus H bond is forming for elimination of water molecule. This is the slow step. This is your nucleophile, and this is your substrate. This is your alpha carbon atom. This is your beta carbon atom. And the loss of proton takes place from the beta carbon atom. That's why this nucleophile is attacked here at this hydrogen atom. Now all these hydrogen atoms are equivalent. So any of these can be eliminated in the form of proton. But for convenience, I will show this. In the next step, this bond will completely break. And there will be formation of C double bond C, H, 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 H plus Cl minus and plus H2O. So in this case, rate of reaction will be proportional to concentration of substrate as well as concentration of nucleophile. That is, in rate determining step, concentration of two molecules are involved. That's why the reaction is bimolecular or it is second order reaction. Now this compound contains one beta carbon atom. Suppose there is a compound which contains two beta carbon atoms, and these two beta carbon atoms may be same or may be different. If they are same, then in that case the product form will remain same whether the loss of proton takes place from one carbon atom or from another beta carbon atom. As for example, CH3, CH, Br, CH2, CH3. This is your alpha carbon atom. This is your CHBr, CH2, CH3. This is your alpha carbon. This is your beta carbon atom. This is your beta carbon atom. If this compound CH2KO is alcoholic, then either the loss of proton takes place from this beta carbon atom or the loss of proton takes place from this beta carbon atom. In both the cases, there will be formation of the same product, that is CH3CH, double bond CH, single bond CH2, CH3. This is your butene. This will be a main product. In addition to this, there is formation of KBr and water. This compound contains two equivalent beta carbon atoms. Two equivalent beta carbon atoms. And since the loss of proton is taking place from beta carbon atom, that's why these elimination reaction will be called as beta elimination reaction. Now suppose there are two different beta carbon atoms, then where from does the elimination of proton take place? In such a case, we will have to follow Self-Depth rule. It states that in case of presence of two different beta carbon atoms, loss of proton takes place from such a beta carbon atom so that more substituted or stable alkene is formed. And more substituted or stable alkene will be that which contains greater number of alpha hydrogen atoms. Which contains greater number of alpha hydrogen atoms. As for example, consider the case of 2-bromobutane. This is your alpha, this is your beta, this is your beta dash. If the loss of proton takes place from beta dash during elimination reaction, there will be formation of but-1-ene. And if the loss of proton takes place from beta carbon atom, then there will be formation of but-2-ene. So CH2 double bond CH, CH2, CH3 plus CH3CH double bond CH3. This is your but-2-ene. This is your but-1-ene. But-2-ene is more substituted because it contains 2 alkyl groups on either side of the double bond, and this is less substituted because it contains only 1 alkyl group in only one side of the double bonded carbon atom. And also on the basis of the counting of the alpha hydrogen atom, I have told you that alpha hydrogen atom is that which is directly attached with the alpha carbon atom, and alpha carbon atom is that which is directly attached with a substituent group, with a functional group, or with a multiple bonded carbon atom, or with a positively charged, negatively charged, or a free radical carbon atom. So there are 2 alpha carbon atoms, and therefore alpha hydrogen will be 6. And here it is only alpha hydrogen is equal to 2. So this is 20% and this is 80% imine. Thus we conclude that on the basis of Kirchhoff rule, if there are 2 different beta carbon atoms, then the loss of proton takes place from such a beta carbon atom, so that more substituted alkene or alkene containing greater number of alpha hydrogen atoms is obtained. Let us take one more example. Consider this case. This will be your alpha carbon atom, this will be beta carbon atom, this will be beta carbon atom, and this will be beta carbon atom. So, if it undergoes elimination reaction, that is reaction with KOH alcoholic, there will be formation of this product. If the loss of proton takes place from this beta carbon atom, then double bond will be in between this alpha and this beta carbon atom, resulting in the formation of CH double bond CH2. And if the loss of proton takes place either from this beta carbon atom or from this beta carbon atom, the product will be always same, and that will be this one. This contains, this is your alpha carbon atom, this is your alpha carbon atom, this is your alpha carbon atom. So how many alpha hydrogen atoms are there? Alpha hydrogen is equal to 3 to 5 to 7. And here alpha hydrogen atom is equal to, this is alpha and this is alpha, 4 hydrogen atoms. So this is more stable. Therefore, major product will be this one, methyl cyclohexene. Now, on the basis of these reactions, we can conclude that the alkyl halide, which will form more stable alkene during elimination reaction, will more easily undergo elimination reaction. And in the product form, that will be the major product, which is more stable, as in case of butadiene and butadiene, we have seen that butadiene is the major product. Now, this butadiene can exist in cis and trans form. So the structure will be like this. This is your cis and this is your trans. This is your trans. Since this is more stable in comparison to cis, that's why in case of butadiene as the major product, the trans butadiene will be in greater percentage in comparison to that of this butadiene. Now let us compare the reactivity of ethyl bromide R and propyl bromide. Now, if this ethyl bromide reacts with KOH alcoholic, there will be formation of CH2 double bond CH2. Alpha hydrogen atom is equal to 0 because there is no alpha carbon atom. If there is reaction of CH3, CHBr, CH3, KOH alcoholic, the major product will be CH3, CH double bond CH2. Alpha hydrogen atom is equal to 3 because this one is the alpha carbon atom. And if this is the compound, CH3, it reacts with KOH alcoholic. The product form will be your CH3C, CH3, double bond CH2. Then this will be the alpha carbon, this will be the alpha carbon, so alpha hydrogen will be equal to 9. So this is most stable and this will be least stable. And therefore the order of reactivity of alkyl halides in decreasing order for elimination reaction will be, this compound can be written as CH3 whole thrice CBr. This can be written as CH3 whole twice CHBr, and this can be written as C2H5Br. So decreasing order of reactivity will be like this: CH3 whole thrice CBr, CH3 whole thrice CHBr, and C2H5Br. Similarly, the order of reactivity of the different alkyl halides towards nucleophilic reaction decreases from alkyl iodide to alkyl chloride when the alkyl groups are same. So decreasing order of reactivity decreasing order of reactivity of alkyl halides containing same alkyl group but different halogen atoms. Towards elimination reaction. This will be alkyl iodide, alkyl bromide, and alkyl chloride. Now, one more point in this elimination reaction, we find that the nucleophilic substitution reaction and the elimination reaction both take place through a nucleophile. So, when does the nucleophilic substitution reaction will occur, and when does the elimination reaction occurs? So, let us see. Let us compare the two cases. Nucleophilic substitution reaction and elimination reaction. Takes place at ordinary temperature, and it takes place at high temperature. Takes place when concentration of nucleophile is less or nucleophile is weak, and it takes place when concentration of nucleophile is more or nucleophile is strong. I am giving you the example for this. Suppose it is your CH3, CH3R, CH3, and it is reacting with CH3COAg, weak nucleophile. Then in this case, the formation of CH3CH, CH3, this will be your COOCH3. But if the same compound reacts with NaOH2H5, this is strong, then elimination reaction will take place, and it will result in the formation of alkene. CH3, CH double bond, CH2 plus NaBr plus C2H5OH. Similarly, when if in case of primary alkyl halide, the chances of nucleophilic substitution reaction is more. But in tertiary alkyl halide, chances of elimination reaction is more. So if it is tertiary butyl chloride and it is reacting with KOH, the alkene will be the major product, and if it is ethyl chloride and it is reacting with KOH, there will be greater percentage of ethanol due to nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now suppose if both are primary alkyl halides, then if there is bulkier nucleophile, in case of bulkier nucleophile, there is greater chance of elimination reaction, and if the steric factor is less, then there is greater chances of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Greater steric factor, elimination reaction. For example, this is your CH3, CH2, Br plus CH3, CCH3, CH3, ONA. These are three bulkier methyl groups. That's why the steric factor is more. Therefore, in this case, CH2 double bond CH2 is the major product, although there will be also formation of ether. But if the same compound reacts with NaOC2H5, there is greater chances of the formation of this compound CH3, CH2, OCH2, CH3. The bulky group is only one, and that is your ethyl group. So steric factor is less here. So if the steric factor on account of nucleophile is less, then nucleophilic substitution reaction will be favored, and if the steric factor is more, then elimination reaction will be favored. Now one more reaction of the alkyl halide is reaction of with metals. Reaction of alkyl halide with metals. For example, with magnesium, if it is CH3, CH2Br plus Mg, the reaction takes place in presence of triether. This magnesium comes in between the carbon and the halogen atom, resulting in the formation of CH3, CH2, MgBr. This compound is known as ethyl magnesium bromide. Or in short, Grignardian, because it was first prepared by Dr. Grignard, and it's a very important compound for synthesizing number of organic compounds like alcohol, carboxylic acid, ester, ketone, aldehyde, etc. Now, why do we take dry ether? This is because of greater reactivity of this ethyl magnesium bromide of Grignard agent. If there is presence of moisture, this Grignard agent will react to the moisture and it will form alkane containing same number of carbon atoms as in Grignard agent. For example, if this reacts with water, there is formation of CH3, CH3. That's why we use dry ether so that there is no moisture and there is no chance of the reaction of the Grignard agent with water. Next is reaction with lithium. If it is CH3, CH2Br plus lithium, this will be CH3, CH2, Li plus LiBr, ethyl lithium. Now, if it reacts with this ethyl bromide, reacts with sodium, lead alloy, a very important compound is formed, CH3, CH2, whole 4 Pb plus NaBr plus this will be 4 Na. So this will be 4 NaBr. This is called as tetraethyl lead. Or TEL. This is a very important compound known as TEL and used as anti-knocking agent, that it is added in the petrol to reduce the metallic sound produced by internal combustion engines. Anti-knocking compound. Similarly, if this ethyl bromide reacts with zinc, there is formation of diethyl zinc. Plus ZnBr2. A very important reaction of alkyl halide with metals is the Wurtz reaction, with the help of which we can convert lower members of alkane into higher members. Wurtz reaction. In this reaction, alkyl halide reacts with sodium in presence of dry ether to give alkane containing double number of carbon atoms. Alkyl halide plus alkane plus sodium in presence of dry ether, we get alkane containing double number of carbon atoms. As for example, if you take CH3Cl, 2 sodium atoms plus ClCH3, This NaCl is eliminated, resulting in the formation of CH3 single bond CH3 plus 2 NaCl. Now suppose you have to convert methane into ethane. Then first methane should be converted into methyl chloride, bromide or iodide. And likewise, if you have to convert ethane into butane, then you will take ethane, its reaction with chlorine, bromine or iodine to form corresponding alkyl halide, and that will react with sodium to give butane. Now, if we take two different molecules of alkyl halide, then in that case, mixture of different alkanes will be obtained. RR plus R dash plus R dash plus NaF. That's why this reaction is suitable for the preparation of alkane containing even number of carbon atoms, because in that case only one product is obtained. But it is not suitable for the preparation of alkane containing odd number of carbon atoms, because in that case you have to take two different molecules of alkyl halide. This will result in the formation of mixture of different alkanes, and their isolation individually will be a difficult task. Now, if you take isopropyl bromide, let us see what is the product form. CH3, CHBr, CH3. This is isopropyl bromide. You will take sodium plus another molecule of isopropyl bromide. In presence of dry ether, there will be formation of CH3, 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 and CH3. This is your 2,3-dimethyl butane. You say that it contains 6 carbon atoms. In the alkyl halide taken was having only 3 carbon atoms. So the number of carbon atoms will double, or sum of the carbon atoms of the two alkyl halide molecules taken. This is your 2,3-dimethyl butane. Now, one very important thing which is to be noted in this case, that if you take tertiary alkyl halide and if it undergoes good reaction, then in the case of tertiary alkyl halide, alkene will be the major product. So, in Ode's reaction, if tertiary alkyl halide is taken, then alkene will be the major product. Is major product. That's why this Ode's reaction is not suitable in case of tertiary alkyl halide. So this is all about your alkyl halide. In my next lecture, I will tell you about the preparation of aryl halides and its properties.